Hello all, welcome back to Dipforia, where I dip for fun. So tonight I'm going to demonstrate to you the Rossi dipping system. In this kit that I purchased through Rossi directly came the Rossi Glam Your Nails liquids. Came with a base coat, an activator, and a top coat. I had the choice of selecting 6 colors, but the colors tonight that I'm going to use are Supernova and Gold Digger. And I'm calling this my leftover Valentine Mani. These are coming. They came very nicely packaged, by the way. I also have some new product tonight that I'm going to be using. This is the Nail Surface Cleanse by Gelish. And I bought some lint-free wipes. As always, I'm going to be using my Mia Secret Clear. I'm going to attempt my e-file again this evening, as well as I have my ASP. And this is a 100 and 180. I have my well, my little spoon, my orange wood stick, and I got a new set of brushes. These are really pretty, as well as the handle's nice and beveled, so when you're holding it, it's comfortable in your hand. So this is going to be for my dip that does not have my sparkle in it. And this is my little one for my sparkles. All right, as you can see, I played this week with a little bit of gold flake. That was fun. Just took a little top coat, put that on there, put the gold flake on, top coat over. Didn't come out too bad for a first try. All right, so stay tuned and we're gonna get everything set up to start dipping. All right, so I already prepped my nail beds. I took the shine just very lightly off the tips of my nails. And the one thing I like right away from Rossi is that this particular kit that I purchased came with the 0.6 ounce dip powder. So that's a nice size dip powder. Lots of manicures in there. Again, this is Supernova, and this is one of their, I guess you would call like thermal colors. So depending on the temperature, it will change colors on your fingers. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works. And then, of course, the Gold Digger as well, 0.6. You can see that, Gold Digger, and the number. All right, so we're going to get started. Number 1 is the, or number 2, excuse me, is the base coat by Rossi. I had looked at the liquid when I first got it, and I must have had just a little bit on the tip, so on the top of the bottle, and it stuck fast. So I have a feeling that this particular base is a quick sticker, if you will. All right. So again, I usually don't mix it with a orange wood stick. I just kind of roll it around in my hands, upside down it a little bit, tap on the top, just my way of doing things. I'm going to open up my first color, Supernova. And again, look at that color. That is so pretty. Okay. Now, I am going to be doing my right hand, and I'm right hand dominant, so my right hand is not as good as my left hand, but we're going to give it that college try. All right, let's get this out of the bottle and see what it looks like. Okay. So it looks like it's a nice size brush, which that, for me, I like much better than a smaller brush because you cover more surface area quicker. And remember, you want to make sure you don't touch the sidewalls and that you do not get that cuticle area. Now, this powder, when I stick it in, is very fine. Very, very, very fine powder. A little bit finer than some of the others. And I always, try my best to keep that in there for at least 10 seconds. And I also try my best not to spill it. So you can see that. That's interesting. I can already see the tip is changing color. That's pretty cool. All right, let's set on to the next nail. And again, you want to make sure that you get down to that cuticle area, but you don't get it on your cuticles. I don't notice a real offensive smell at all with the solution. So that's always helpful as well. Again, always leave my nail in there for at least 10 seconds. Tap off my extra. Not too bad, got most of that coverage, and you can see, I think you can see, I know I can see it, that tip is starting to change color. That's really kind of neat. I like that. All right, so I'm going to continue to do the rest of the dips on my pinky and my index and my thumb, and then come back and we will try the gold digger on the other fingers. Okay, so this is what the Supernova looks like after 3 dips. I know I can see this. You can see how it's lighter in pink here, and then the tip is just a little bit darker. So this should be really quite nice when it's completed. I didn't have any problems applying the liquid base, so that was good. Now we're gonna do the other 2 fingers with the gold digger. So let me just mix that around a little bit. Sparkles can be your foe, or at least I know they've been a little bit of my foe. So each and every time I think I get a little bit better. All right, so let's take the base. And I always make sure that I finish wiping off my brush when I'm going in for my second and my third dip, because I don't want color to contaminate my base. All right, here's the test. As always, I leave it in for 10 seconds. Tap off. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Look at that glitter. That's beautiful. All right, let's do the next. Again, nice, even, flat strokes, and dip, and 10 seconds. And on top. Look at that. That is just amazing. All right, I'm going to finish doing these dips on the 2 fingers, and we'll be right back. All right, so I would definitely give Rossi 2 thumbs up for their sparkle dip. It really adhered nice to the nail. As I brushed in between, I did not lose all the sparkle, so I really, really appreciate that. And as you can kind of already see, that Supernova at the tip is darker and a little bit lighter, getting down towards that cuticle base. So now I'm going to use my Mia Secret and poured some already into my well. And I've got my base coat. And I'm just going to do probably just 1 dip, just to protect the integrity of the color and to protect the sparkles. But you can already see kind of how pretty that is. Okay. So again, my base coat. And you want to make sure that you're applying a nice, even coat. My hand's a little shaky there. And I'm just gonna dip that right into that clear. And as you can see, I always remember to wipe off my brush. Really important. Don't want all that color going into my base. And just tap off a little bit. So that's all it does. And that's what it looks like. Making sure I didn't get her close to my cuticles, and I didn't. Just powder laying there. Again, a nice even stroke. And just going to lay that right into my clear. And make sure I wipe off my brush. I'm going to grab a little bit to wipe. And tap over my wall. And I'm going to check my cuticles just to make sure I didn't get any around my cuticles or my sidewalls. And I'm going to be finishing clear capping, and I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and I applied number 3, the activator. And as you can see, and I said even in the last video, I really like what it looks like when you put the activator on, because it really looks like you were successful in doing your dips. It's interesting. Now, I read the directions for Rossi. Rossi says that after you put your first coat of activator on, you want to make sure that you let it dry. And like I said, I always do 2 to 5 minutes. Make sure it gets nice and dry so that I'm not filing anything off. Then it tells you to file and shape the way you want. And after you've done that, it says to apply another coat of the activator and let dry. And in between, I'm going to try the Gelish Nail Surface Cleanse to get off all the remainder dust. And I have my nice little lint wipe. So I'm going to attempt to use the e-file again and come back and see what we got. Okay, not too bad for my second time. You know, I think each time you'll get a little bit better if you're going to use an e-file. So now I'm going to use my nail surface cleanse just to kind of clean off the surface here of all this extra dust before I put that next step of activator on. This also will help to see how well I did with the filing. So that's helpful. And, oops, helps to hold on to the little pad while you're taking off all that extra dust. Okay, clean off the rest. Close that up. Let's take a look, see what it looks like. Not too bad. I'm really loving these colors. I think they did a fine job with these colors, Rossi. All right, now make sure we're nice and dry. We're going to put a second top coat of activator on, as the directions state, because we want to make sure we're following their directions so that we're testing that product according to the way they want it to be used. Really love this sparkle. Just have to tell you. I know I'm going over again, but it didn't look like I coated it very well the first time. And then once we let this dry, they say a minute, but again, I always like to do at least 2 to 5 to make sure that everything is nice and dry. Okay. So far, this is what they look like. And once that activator dries, we're going to go ahead and put on their top coat and see how that works. All right, so now that my activator is dry, we're going to go in with number 4, Rossi Top Coat. And let's see how it works. So again, when you do your top coat, you want to make sure that you're applying nice even strokes and covering that whole nail base. This top coat I noticed is a little sticky. And wow, look at those gold sparkles. Boy, they really come up really nice. Can you see that? Look at the difference, minus the little piece of fuzz. That's pretty amazing. And I'm going to apply 2 layers of this top coat, letting them dry in between. That's really pretty. So you can see how they look so far. And after I applied that top coat, you can see, not this one so much, but this one here and this one here, really you can see the color variance in there. All right, so I'm going to let this dry, come back, and finish up with my last top coat. All right, so I went in with my second top coat. As you can see, it's nice and shiny, and these colors by the Rossi system are beautiful. This is the Supernova, which is a thermal color. This is the Gold Digger, beautiful sparkles. You can see how sparkly that is? These are beautiful colors. The only issue I had was with the top coat. When I went to apply my second top coat, I noticed that the end of the bristles were a little on the hard side. And I did not purchase the Rossi brush cleaner, but I do have a secondary brush cleaner that I will use to clean the end of that brush. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. And all of the products that I used tonight will be below in the product description box. And feel free to leave me any comments, suggestions on products, anything you'd like to see demonstrated. I would love to do that for you. And I wish you all to be well and to be safe. And remember, dip for fun, just like I do. I'm not a nail technician. I'm self-taught. And I'm learning as I go, and dipping is a whole lot of fun. So be well until the next time.